It's time for the Guardians versus the Tigers, and wait, why does that sound familiar?
This one is gonna fly!
And this place is shaking. Ball game! Cleveland eliminates the Detroit Tigers today. Mr. Inevitable delivers again.
Tigers are back in a first place tie.
Oh right, maybe it's because these two American League Central rivals can't seem to get away from each other. In last year's American League Division Series, they went the distance in a thriller in which the Guardians somehow subdued Tarik Skubal in Game 5. Then came the 2025 regular season, in which the Tigers had a 15.5 game lead on the 4th place Guardians as late as July 8th, and an 11 game lead on the 3rd place Guardians as late as September 4th. I'm talking about that September 4th, the one that was less than a month ago. Against all mathematical and historical odds, the Guardians surged to first place again, going on an epic run that included a series sweep in the Motor City 2 weeks ago and a series victory in Cleveland just last week. It was literally the greatest comeback in league or divisional history, and it was capped with the Guardians clinching the division on Sunday. So here we go again, Guardians versus Tigers, this time in a best-of-3 wildcard series that begins Tuesday afternoon and will take place entirely at Progressive Field. Now obviously, there's no mystery to this matchup. As they gear up to face each other for the 3rd time in 3 weeks, the players on these teams can tell you each other's strengths, weaknesses, tendencies, probably even each other's burrito orders. What remains to be seen is whether Cleveland can maintain its momentum and whether Detroit can shake off that dizzying divisional downfall. What stood out in the final 2 series between these two squads in the regular season was the Guardians making the defensive plays when they mattered and not striking out in big spots, while the Tigers' erratic play in the field and aggressiveness at the plate got the best of them. It is essential that Detroit play a clean series, or else their recent misery in this matchup could continue. On the flip side, the Tigers could flip this series their way if their slugging from the likes of Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, and Kerry Carpenter shows up. In their previous games against Cleveland this year, it really hasn't shown up. The Tigers have slugged less than .400 in this particular matchup. Still, they have the more powerful lineup on measure. Though the Guardians' offense was much better during the September surge, for the length of the season, Cleveland fielded one of the least powerful lineups in MLB this year, with a .373 slugging percentage that ranked only above that of the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Tigers are the team more likely to turn a game around via the long ball, which we all know is a big separator on this stage. The most important player in this series, no surprise here, is Tarik Skubal. It's a best-of-3, folks, and what we've witnessed in this round since it became permanent in 2022 is only 2 out of 12 wildcard series going the max of 3 games. Winning Game 1 is monumental, and the Tigers will have a rested Skubal ready. He's quite likely on the verge of being awarded his 2nd consecutive Cy Young, something that hasn't happened in the AL in a quarter century. Skubal fell to the Guardians in his last 2 starts, despite allowing a grand total of 2, count them, 2 earned runs. So yes, he's eminently capable of having an extreme influence on the outcome of this best-of-3 set. For the Guardians, it's on Gavin Williams to pitch like the ace he can be. He barely pitched for this club in the postseason last year, but in 2025, the big rig came into his own by better harnessing his electric stuff and posting a 2.18 ERA and 188 average against in the second half. Offensively, you know the Guardians are powered by their perennial MVP candidate, Jose Ramirez, but an X factor for them might be what they can get offensively from the bottom of the order in Brayan Rocchio. I say that because Rocchio is the only Guardians player other than Jose with over a 700 OPS against Skubal, and because Rocchio's surprising .375 average in the ALDS against the Tigers last year was a big reason why the Guardians were able to advance. Rocchio doesn't have good offensive numbers overall in his young career, but he's shown a good heartbeat in the big moments, including when he smacked the walk-off homer in the regular season finale. The Tigers' offensive X-factor is Gleyber Torres. He's been a good signing for Detroit this year, but in the postseason, we'll find out if he was a great signing. It was his .400 on-base percentage from the leadoff spot in the ALDS and ALCS last year that ignited the Yankees on their path to their first AL pennant in a generation. If he can similarly spark a Tigers offense that basically fell off the table down the stretch, they can right themselves. As with any postseason series, the bullpens are important. The Tigers' pitching chaos from a year ago was fueled by a terrific trail of relief arms. The bullpen magic has not been quite as strong this year, but it will be interesting to see how rookie Troy Melton, who pitched his way into A.J. Hinch's circle of trust, performs in his first postseason as the Tigers try to get the ball with a lead to Will Vest. For the Guardians, the bridge to closer Cade Smith functions much better if Hunter Gaddis is as lights out as he was in the season's final month, when he allowed just 0.8 walks and hits per inning pitched. Alright, you probably want a prediction. I was worried you might. Well again, if the Guardians play a clean game and their impressive pitching staff keeps getting the Tigers' bats to chase in big spots, they can absolutely overcome Detroit's Skubal advantage. But I find myself drawn to the law of averages here. It's hard to win 3 series in 3 weeks against a talented team like the Tigers. If the Guardians beat Skubal 3 times in a short span and wind up advancing, they will have definitely done it the hard way. But it says here that Skubal will set the tone for the Tigers in Game 1, and despite the devastation of their late season collapse, Detroit will summon what it takes to win this series in 3 games.